All right, so we are just finishing our last shipping box for today. So usually on Mondays or Tuesdays, depending on the order volume, we'll do our nationwide shipping days. So today is one of those, it's Tuesday. And I haven't got too many orders to do today, so it's not too crazy and too bad. But yeah, so I'm just finishing the last one. This one's a subscription box. So yeah, I'll kind of take you through a couple of steps on how we do our shipping process. It shouldn't take too long at all. So the first thing we do when it comes to shipping our meat products across the country is I'll weigh all the dry ice. So the dry ice is currently in this cooler. Well, right now we're having to still go to Publix once a week and get amount of dry ice that we need for each order. I've called like Airgas, and if you want, you can get dry ice shipped to you in a big tote. But if you want to do that, you have to be ordering like 600 pounds at a time. So we're just not at that scale yet to be able to do that. Hopefully one day. That's why, I'm just kind of grinding it out and, just hoping that it'll work out. But it's just a cool experience and offering to have for your customers. So all the dry ice is packed in here. So the dry ice comes in these big blocks. Can't even hold it properly. These big blocks right here. I don't really have a choice, but I like the big blocks because it does last a little longer than the crumbly dry ice pellets. From my experience, I have tried both before, but they last a long time. So this order I'm doing today is I put it on 3-day select, so I need about 15 pounds of dry ice. So that's roughly about 5 pounds per 24 hours. So we'll go ahead and weigh it on our scale. That's 13. So now that we have our dry ice packed in the box, we always put the dry ice in first because air rises, so the cold air will keep everything nice and cold throughout its journey. It basically just helps it last longer. All right, so now we put all the valuable products, which obviously this is a subscription order, everything's valuable. So we're gonna put them all on top of the dry ice, and they're well protected with their butcher paper wrapping, because that just keeps it insulated for longer and help last longer on this journey, especially when it's doing 3 days of travel time. We want to make sure it gets there nice and safely. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned from shipping the last year or so is air is your enemy. So if you have too much space for air to move, that dry ice is going to dissipate much faster than if you don't have a lot of space. So if I have a lot of space that's kind of in my box because it hasn't quite, we can't have a perfect fit box all the time. I usually fill it with butcher paper, the empty spaces, just to make sure there isn't too much space for air to move, and it keeps everything cold for longer. And then one of the nice things about these thermal insulated liners is they can kind of they can match the shape. You can form it however you want to form it, which is really cool. Like, it's not just a styrofoam box that's like just rigid and won't move. This can form a shape and I can push air out of it. So this has been our best liner so far, and we get all of them from Uline. A little more expensive. The more you buy in bulk, the cheaper it is. But yeah, these have been our favorite liners so far. We haven't really had any issues or accidents. Like, the number we've had, I can count on one hand. So all we have to do is remove the tape, and then you fold it in. Make sure you push down, hold that. Sometimes it can get caught on itself. But yeah, and that's it. Nice and snug, no air moving. Nice and cold for 3 days. Okay, so we just finished our shipping orders for today. So like I said, it wasn't a whole lot, just 3 boxes. Just still getting our name out there and getting our product out to 3 people. But yeah, so it's gonna sit right there, and UPS is just gonna come by. We scheduled a UPS pickup from our website, and they'll just come by, pick it up. So while I leave that there, we're gonna go out to the pastures and finally start the morning chores. right, so first order of business is to move all of our laying hens to a new section within inside their net. But before I do that, I'm going to show you some really cool features we have that enabled us to be able to move about 150, 175 layers in 5 minutes. So I'll go show you that right now. So one cool feature we just added was this 2,000 pound feeder. So now all I have to do is come out here with a bucket, open it up, and then take it out and feed them. Yeah. So one feature we recently just added, which is actually my absolute favorite feature, and I can't believe it took us this long to do, but it's our watering system. How this watering system works is we have a 55-gallon tank attached to a little cart, and what that does is it runs through this line into our gravity waterers, and it goes through the PVC pipe lining up top, and then goes down into gravity waterers and just kind of constantly refills itself when needed through the ballasts on the waterers. And what this has done is it means we never have to take the waterers out the coops when we move them, which is super nice, because it was an absolute pain in the ass having to take everything out of the coop, put them to the side, pull the coop, fill the water up, put them back in the coop. So now this is like cut 30 minutes off our chores, which is beautiful. Okay, so now I've got ahead and shown you our watering system and feeding system. We're gonna go ahead and move them. Okay, so we just got the layers coop moved, and we do this about every 3 or 4 days depending on the weather. Like if it's raining a lot, we'll probably move them, maybe every 2 days. If it's really dry like it has been, maybe 4 days. It really just depends. But now we've got them moved, I'm gonna go in and get the eggs, collect all the eggs up and pack them this morning. All right, so we have 13 nest boxes for about 150 layers. So they go in here all through the day, lay, keeps the eggs fairly clean. Roughly get about an 80% lay rate a day. For those interested, these nest boxes are from Best Nest Box. They're a little pricey, but definitely worth the expense, because it just makes collecting eggs so much easier. Oh, sorry, excuse me, let me see. Oh, that was a lot of eggs, man. And if we get any cracked eggs, like, let me show you. Like, if we have any cracked eggs like this, what I'll do is watch this. It's pretty brutal, but I'll usually just feed it to them, just to get them a bit of calcium. People are probably going to judge me for doing that, but, whatever. This was a big hole. Excuse me, stop. I think them going crazy for those eggshells also means we're lacking a little bit of calcium in our pastures, which is, it's quite normal around here. I tell you what, this might be our biggest haul of the year so far. We have, shit, I didn't even freaking see that. Stop it. And chickens. We have an entire 5-gallon bucket of eggs. So I think this is the biggest haul we've had so far, which is really cool, because that means the chickens are happy hens. Okay, so a couple questions you may have, or maybe even the biggest question you may have is, what's the point in moving these birds every 2 to 4 days? So that's the whole purpose of what we're trying to achieve as a regenerative farm, is we are moving our animals every day, so that way they're constantly getting some fresh grass, and they're naturally fertilizing the ground along the way. So this area they're in right now is basically going to be allowed to rest for up to 60 days. So that way the ground has enough time to rejuvenate and regenerate, And then when the sheep come around, or the next batch of birds come around, the grasses will be a lot healthier and stronger and more nutritious for them. So, you know, if we're raising meat birds across here, the meat birds are getting better nutrients. That way when we consume the meat birds, we're getting more nutrients off them. And then with the eggs, same thing. Once the layers, if they come back around to the same spot, they'll get more nutrients, and that means that the eggs are going to be more nutritious. So that's our whole purpose really, and why we're moving them about every 2 to 4 days. So now that we have the layers taken care of, the eggs are collected, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the eggs off in our barn, and then we're going to go get a big hay bale for our sheep, because it is feeding day for the sheep. And yeah, and I'll show you how our process for all of that. So what I'm about to do now for the hay is I'm going to be putting our hay prong on our bucket. And some of you are going to ask, where did we get this hay prong from? I couldn't tell you, I can't remember right now. But maybe when I edit this video, and I'll put it in the description below this video, you can find this hay prong. But yeah, you just hook it on, and I'll show you right now how it works. Super easy, great tool to have, especially if you're feeding hay and don't want to have to keep changing out a bucket to a hay prong. This just attaches right to the bucket, so it's really cool. So we've got our hay prong attached, so now we'll head out to the big bales, get it, and we'll roll it out for the sheep. Okay, so one thing you may notice is this bale that I'm about to pick up is tilted to its side. And the reason why it's tilted to its side is because we soak all of our big hay bales in raw apple cider vinegar. If you have followed us on our Instagram page or TikTok page, you'll see that we have a little video of us that I'll link right now, where I'm pouring apple cider vinegar on top of the hay bale. And basically what we do is we let it soak for 24 hours on its side, so that way it goes all through the bale, because it's very tightly packed. And then I'll tip it back up, flip it up, and then we'll roll it out. So what the apple cider vinegar is doing is it allows the fiber to be digested more efficiently in the sheep's rumen. Just the apple cider vinegar has a lot of sugar in it, so it helps it break down all that fiber that's needed for energy through the winter season, and helps them grow their lambs a lot healthier. So that's one reason why we do that. So I'm gonna go pick this bale up with our hay prong, we'll take it to the sheep, and we'll roll it out to the sheep, and I'll go into a little bit more detail on exactly why we roll our bales out instead of put them in like hay bale cages. Yeah, so one thing I've learned, what I'm doing here is, well, I obviously have to cut the netting off the bale, but keeping it raised, it means that I can see if it's facing the right way, because if it's not facing the right way, this thing is not moving. So I'll just take it off, and I kind of see which way it falls, and I can tell I probably got it the wrong way around right now. Hard to tell. And I keep stepping in fire ants nest. All right, which way are you leaning? Yep, probably the other way, isn't it, Ace? Right, sheep, good way. Hopefully that's the right way. This is where farmers get their workout on. Whew. How much would you say that weighs, Ace? You said 6,000 pounds? Yeah, I think so too. Man, I'm getting strong. Check out. Ooh, man, you can smell the apple cider vinegar on this. Never-ending bale. Some of these bales last 2 seconds. Some of them last forever. Okay, so we have our big bale rolled out for the sheep. So one of the reasons why we roll our big hay bales out is a couple reasons. One of the reasons is fertilizer. So hay is a natural fertilizer. So what we do is we pick an area of pasture that's predominantly weak. The soil health is not as good as it should be. So we will do what we call hay bomb the certain area of pasture, which is obviously what we're in right now. We got about, usually through the winter, we go about through 30 to 40 hay bales. I know for some of you watching who raise cattle, that is nothing. You probably go through that maybe in a day or two. But for sheep, obviously they don't consume anywhere near as much as cows. So we go through about 30, 40 through the winter season. And what we do is we'll roll it out through different areas next to each other on the poor pasture land. And that acts as a natural fertilizer. So we give it about 6 to 8 months rest once they're finished with this pasture. And then what that does is it allows the hay to, decompose, go into the soil and make the soil health a lot healthier and stronger for when we hit the peak summertime. Another reason is less waste. So when you leave hay bales in a big cage, what it does is it just concentrates the hay in one area and it gets all the way to the ground, and then they can't really get access to it. Then you have to put a new bale on top. So I feel like you often have a lot of waste, whereas with this, rolling it out, they get a chance to eat kind of everything that is put out on the ground for them. So we're using the entire bale rather than having to constantly put new bales out when they could eat a little bit more. And the third and final reason is it gives all of the ewes a chance to eat hay. I know that sounds kind of weird, but often we've tried it with the big bales, just kind of leaving it there intact. And with sheep, you often have the leaders, the smart sheep, and then you have the really dumb sheep. And the leaders often will get all the goodness and get all the good hay, the quality parts, and then the weaker ones are left with the scrap, like once the hay is like a couple days old and it's not very nutritious. So this enables us to kind of spread the hay out and give everyone an opportunity to eat the highest quality hay available. We have noticed like significant improvements in our flock as a whole when we roll it out rather than leaving it as a big intact bale. All right, so now we've got the hay all rolled out. What we're gonna do is gonna head back inside, pack the eggs up, and that should be good for the morning chores so far. All right. All right, so that was 144 eggs. So that was almost, I'd say almost 100% lay rate, which has never happened before. So I'm gonna have to go back on our notes and figure out exactly why they suddenly went from average of 80% to now almost 100%. So that's a crazy jump within a day. Might be the weather. The weather's gotten really nice. I'm in t-shirt and it's 75, 80 degrees the last few days. So that's probably helped. Light hasn't been cloudy at all. So that's probably helped tremendously for them. But yeah, I've got the eggs, just got to label them now. I'm not gonna film that, it's kind of boring. Show you what our label looks like. So that's our egg label. I like the black and white look, always very slick and professional. And you can find our eggs online, and unfortunately we can't ship them, but you can pick them up here or go to any of the farmers markets we attend. But yeah, now I'm gonna go back inside and catch up on some boring admin work that has to be done, unfortunately. But first let's go see what my wife's doing. Hey, Pepper. Hey. Hey, little man.
What do y'all do in situations like that? Like, even though he's like happy and back to his...
So she's unfortunately in a meeting right now, but can't really talk. But I'm sure we'll catch her in a little bit later on today. So for now, I'll catch you all in a jiff. What are you reading?
Huh? Why are you filming me?
Well, don't be camera shy.
I'm reading
You have to tell the world exactly what you're reading.
Natural Childbirth the Bradley Way.
Well, probably shouldn't be shown because not everyone knows.
Is it a baby or is it a beer belly?
Well, after eating all that hummus right there, that was full.
Am I going on the YouTubes?
Yeah.
Why?
because makes it feel real, like we're not just some weirdos.
Well, this is the Bradley way, and it goes over every stage of labor, what to expect, all the curveballs that could be thrown in the science behind everything. So it's been really good.
All right.
Really good book.
Cool.
I wish you would have let me brush my hair.
Yeah, we'll leave you to it then.
I would have had a healthy snack on hand.
Well, me and Bear are gonna go do the chores.
I would have had my raw milk on hand.
Well, I'll let you know next time. It's good to keep you on your toes.
Well, always somewhere in the appropriate shirt. Because JFK is our new health secretary.
Did he get confirmed?
Yeah.
Or like fully? Or just on that?
Yeah, but he won by one.
No, that was he has to go to the full Senate now.
Well, never mind.
Yeah.
I take it back, everybody. Sorry, I'm uneducated.
Uneducated. All right. Well, we'll leave you to it. Come on, Bear. Let's go do the chores. Oftentimes in the evening, when we do the evening chores, when I do it at least, and not our employee, I like to take a walk out and do like a little half pasture walk as well. And it's just a beautiful day today. You know, it's 78 degrees, no humidity, so I'm gonna enjoy this beautiful weather while it lasts. So all the evening chores really entail is checking water for the sheep, checking water for the chickens, making sure everyone's alive and there's no sick, lagging behind animals. So yeah, it's not really too exciting, but you know, I figured I'd show you everything behind the scenes and give you a really clear picture on how everything operates here. For those who watched the last video of us building that coop right there, still haven't received any instructions on how to finish it. So what you saw is about as far as I got. I'm now probably going to wait till my father-in-law gets home because he's a little bit more handy than I am and is a lot better builder than me. So I'm going to wait till the expert comes home and we'll take care of the rest of that coop. And for those interested, our water system, what we have is we've got a underground well. Hang on one sec. We have an underground well that the pump is just down over there by an old house that we have on the property. So it's not a deep well. I can't remember exactly how deep it is, but it's not very deep at all. But that well it's a whole underground system. So we have piping that goes all through the 20 acres on our farm, and we have spigots located over the farm for easy access to fill up waters like I'm doing right now for the sheep and the chickens. So that's kind of a nice little feature we have over here on the farm. Okay, so now we got the sheep's water all refilled. I'm gonna walk over to, come on Bear. Bear, come on, good boy. Yeah, Bear likes to come with me on our walks. There he is right there. So I'm gonna go over to the layers, check them, make sure that their water system is working okay, and then that'll be it. So nice easy evening. All right, so first thing we do, all right, check all the water system, make sure it's all working. One there, and over there. All right, so now I know everything is, let me go over here because these freaking geese are so loud. I'm gonna go head over to the tank and make sure, look at this. There's some happy hens right there. So the water tank's about half full, so we are all good there. So now now the chickens are all good, sheep are all watered. So I'm gonna go head on back, and I think Emma and I are gonna play some tennis this afternoon. Remember, let's go home. All right, so like I said, we're about to go play tennis, and I had to rep the sleeveless shirt today because I got to try and get rid of that farmer's tan, or at least prepare myself to try and fight back against the farmer's tan.
Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up, get up and go. I stay ready for more. Go toe to toe till I level the score. Never gonna quit.
She needs the light. What are you so out of breath?
Maybe.
All right, so Emma and I we're gonna finish the. Do you mind? Man, look at that. Woof. Damn.
It almost carried me away.
That's the one bad thing about living out here. But yeah, Emma and I are going to finish the game. Well, we appreciate you watching the video. And just don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.